Hello all, welcome to my channel. Today I want to demonstrate you how to develop the Android application to show the food list using the GridView, CardView and adapter class. So let's start developing Android Studio project. First of all, you can click on start new Android Studio project. Then you can choose the empty activity. Then you can click on the next. Here you can provide the name of your application. I'm just providing the name of my application is food app. Then you can choose the package name and the location, and then you can choose the language that you want to develop in. I'm just choosing the Kotlin. Then you can click on finish. First of all, let me show you what I want to do. I want to take one grid view in activity main. Then I want to set all the food products in grid view, and whenever user interact with that particular food product, I want to display the image, description and name of that particular food. So let me move to the first design. I'm just moving to activity main.xml. Then you can click on show layout decorations. Then you can choose then you can come to the design view. Here you can just remove this text view and you can add the grid view over here. I'm just putting one grid view over here, that is grid view. Then you can click on infer constraint over here. Then you can provide the name of your grid view. I'm just giving the name of my grid view is grid view. Now you can define the property over here, that is number of columns. Here I'm just providing the value, that is auto fit. So based on the value, I want to just put the auto fit number of columns in grid view. Now I want to display the food products over here. So definitely I need some images of the food. So I have food images like this: coffee pot, espresso, french fries, honey, strawberry ice cream and sugar cubes. I'm just copying all these images over here, control C, and then you can paste into your project resource drawable folder. I'm just moving to drawable folder and right click and you can click on paste. Then you can just click OK. All the images will be available in your drawable folder. Now we need a one uh, plain object Java class that to handle all these things, right? So I'm just right click on this my package, new, and you can add the Kotlin class. I'm just adding the Kotlin class, that is food. You can just press the enter. Now we need to create one class over here, that is food, in which I'm just defining the variable name, that is of type string. This is for the food name, which kind of food you are using. Then you can initialize the null value. Now I'm taking one more variable over here for the description of the food image, that is a string again, question mark is equal to null. Then you can add one more variable, that is for your food image. I'm just taking here image colon integer for to store the image id, again is equal to, you can just set null. Now here you can define the constructor by calling just pressing the key, that is alter insert. Whenever you click on alter insert, or you can just right click and you can click on generate, that is alter insert secondary constructor. Now I need the constructor using all these three parameters, so you can just select all this parameter and you can click on OK. What happens, see, the constructor is created over here with the name, description and image. Now once your food class is created, I want to display all this value into my card view. So I'm just taking one my layout over here. So you can just move to your resource layout folder, right click, new, and you can take your own layout resource file. I'm just giving the layout resource file name is my layout, and then you can click on OK. Now I want to define the card view over here. So you can just move to the design. I want the card view over here, so you can search into the palette and that is your card view. Here you can download it and you can see what happened. This operation requires the library card view. Would you like to add this now? You click on OK. So your Gradle build will be run, and this will be configured. Once it is configured successfully, it will be added to your Gradle. Now instead of constraint layout, I will use my CardView as a root layout. So I'm just taking here CardView C, right? Now you can define some important property of the CardView if it is required. I'm just defining here important property, that is card corner radius. You can define the card corner radius. I'm just giving here 25 dp. Then you can define the card, use compact padding true. Then you can define card background color if it is required. I'm just giving the card background color. Right now I'm just giving red. You can click on this color palette and you can change the color. I'm just changing the color over here. Once it is selected, now you can define the controls over here inside the card view. So I'm just adding one more control over here into this card view, and that is linear layout. So you can search over here for the linear layout. I want to add here vertical orientation, so I'm just taking linear vertical. You can move it into your card view. Then inside a linear layout, I want to add two controls over here. One for the my food image and another for the food name. So I'm just taking one image view over here. So you can just move, drag and drop, put the image view inside your linear layout. And I'm just taking one image, that is espresso. Then you can click on OK. What happens? See, this image is set inside my card view. Now you can define the width and height of your image. I'm just giving here 50 point. Then you can define the height also, same I am giving over here, that is 50 point. Once image view is set over here, now I want the text view also inside the linear vertical layout. So I'm just taking the text view over here. You can just move, drag and drop inside your card linear layout. So this image view will come, and after that text view is also there. Here in text view you can write anything. We will just change the value runtime, right? So I'm just writing here one value, that is coffee, right? Now you can define the text size also over here. So I'm just giving the text size, that is for example 20 sp, right? Now once it is done, you can define the wrap content to your height of your layout, that is card view. So I'm just giving here height, that is wrap content, right? So what happened, my one card is created. I want to bind this card view inside my grid view, right? So once your card view is created, now you can move to your main activity.kotlin file. Now I want to add adapters over here. So I'm just taking one variable over here that is related to adapter. Variable adapter colon. Now I'm just writing here food adapter. Definitely food adapter is the class that is not created yet, right? So I need to create the one class, that is food adapter. So you can just click on create class food adapter, where you want to create. In my main activity I want to create, or inside inner class you want to create, right? So I want to create this class as a inner class. You can just write the code inside this food adapter, but create the class which extends from base adapter. So I'm just taking one creating one class that which extends from base adapter, right? So whenever you create the class, you need to implement the four methods of the base adapter, right? So you can just press Alt Enter over here, and you can click on implement members. There are four methods. One is for the view, another is for the item, another is for the item ID, and how many times you want to iterate it. So I'm just pressing enter over here. So all the methods will be available over here. Now in base adapter you need to call either superclass constructor, your error will be removed, right? Or you can call your own constructor inside your food adapter, and then you can pass it to your super, right? So what I am doing here in food adapter, you can simply write the declare the variable. I'm just declaring the variable food list colon, or you can say directly equal to array list of food class that already I created earlier. See this, right? So I'm just creating one food list of array list of food. Then Once it is done, you can declare one more variable over here that is related to context. So I'm just declaring context, and context of type context is equal to also null. You can import this context class. Once it is done, now based on this two argument, you can generate the constructor over here. Right click and you can click on generate, and you can generate the secondary constructor. I want the two argument, one is the food list, another is the context, right? So you can just take this two argument, food list and context. User will pass this two argument, one is context and another one is food list. Generally context is the first argument, so I'm just moving here first argument, that is context, second argument, that is food list. And here see what happens, superclass constructor is called, so error of base adapter is removed over here. Once your food adapter class constructor is done, now it's time to define the view of individual view of your adapter. But before this, I want to just initialize the value inside my onCreate method of this adapter. So I'm just taking one variable over here, that is variable food list is equal to again array list of food, and then you can call the constructor. Now I want to initialize this food list over here. So simply you can call food list dot, you can call the function that is add. Here you can pass your food constructor, and you can pass the three argument. One is the name, description and image. What happens, see here our food class constructor is called, that is name, description and image, that you can pass over here in food list dot add food, and you can pass the value. I have values related to all the images that I copied earlier. So I'm just moving to my notepad plus plus, and I'm just copying all this value. Food list dot add, you can add the value, see what I will copy, description, and the image is r dot drawable dot coffee pot, image is espresso, image is fries, image is over here, that is honey, image is related to over here, that is ice cream, image is over here, that is related to sugar cubes. Once your food list variable is initialized inside your main class, now you can call adapter class. Simply you can call adapter is equal to, you can call food adapter, you can pass the context, that is your our current context, that is this, and here in food list we can pass the value our food list. What happens, see our food list, that is our this value will be passed to this food adapter class, and here the food list, that is a list, will be passed over here. Once your list and context is came into your food adapter, now you can bind to your view, that is your get view. Now what I am doing over here in get view, see here in get view we need to get every food, that is every iteration. So how many food list is there? So here in get count, you can write return food list dot size. It means there are 6 food, then 6 times this method, this class will be called. For each time we need the separate ID. So I am just doing return p0, that is your index, dot too long. Why? Because our index is input is integer and we want to return the long value. So I'm just converting into too long. Then you can just return over here, that is the input that you received, that is p0. Now it's a time to define the view. Here in view, now I want to bind all this value inside my card view, right? So the first task is retrieving all the food. So I'm just taking one variable, that is food is equal to, you can simply write this dot food list. So which food list variable will be initialized? This food list variable will be get, and that is your food adapter class. So this dot food list dot of, and here your index is p0, right? So here you can simply modify the variable name, that is index, and here you can just pass index. So what happened, your first image index will be initialized to your variable food. Once your variable food is retrieved, now it's a time to inflate the value. So I'm just taking one variable, that is inflator is equal to, here you can simply call your context variable is already there, context dot, you can call the function that is get system service. Here in get system service you can just pass layout inflator service, and we need to cast it as layout inflator. Once you cast it as layout inflator, your variable will be initialized with layout inflator. Now it's a time to initialize our food view, that is from our layout, that is card view. So I'm just taking one variable food view is equal to inflator dot, you can call the function that is inflate. Now it's a time to pass our layout, and the layout is r dot layout dot my layout. See here, this is the layout name, and that is r dot layout dot my layout. So here we just need to pass the r dot layout dot and the name of the layout, that is my layout. If it is not finding over here, you can simply close your project and open again. Might be a chance your r dot layout dot will be able to find your layout. See, r dot layout dot my layout, and here you can pass the value, that is would you like to attach it to the root? No. So you can simply, you can pass the null value over here. Once your food view is created, now simply you can return your food view also, return food view, your error will be removed. But in into each food view of image, it means in this my layout I want to iterate every value. So here in image and text I want to set the value. Simply you can write over here, that is food view dot image view dot set image resource. Now your image name, that is your food class, having the value, right? So here you can simply write, see, food is the variable already initialized, so simply you can write food dot, you can call your value, that is image, right? And you can just pass explanatory operator two times. After this we need to just write food view dot text, right? Food view dot text view is already there. It means in my layout, see, there are two controls, one is the image view and another one is the text view. I just set the image view, now it's a time to set the text view. So I'm just writing here food view dot text view dot text is equal to, now your text is available in food dot, that is the name, right? So simply you can just write food dot name, and again you can just pass your variable, that is bang bang operator, right? Once it is done, now you can execute your application. Let's see what happened to our application. Once it is Gradle build is running on, you can check the output over here in your emulator. Once your application is running, still installation is done, you can check that. See, no effect is available over here. Why? Because I set the adapter, I get the adapter, but I didn't bind it to the grid view. Simply you need to write what? Grid view dot adapter is equal to adapter. Now you can run your application again and you can check what happened to your application. See, this coffee, espresso, french fries, honey, strawberry, sugar cube is available. Now you can move to your layout. Also pass the left margin if it is required. I am passing the margin left, that is 10 dp. And you can just check what happens. See, coffee, espresso, french fries, honey, strawberry, sugar cubes, everything is looking fine, right? Now whenever user click on this image, I want to open the separate activity for this, and I want to load the same image over there, right? So let me create one more activity over here. So you can just right click on your app, new, you can click on activity, and you can add the empty activity. I'm just giving the name of my empty activity is food details activity. Then you can click on finish. Now whenever user click on particular image, it means whenever in this application, whenever user, if a application is execute successful, whenever user click on this image, I want to open the image, this image in another activity with description, right? So here I taken the food details activity. Now here you can move to your food details XML file, and then you can define your food details view, what kind of view you want. I'm just taking one image view over here. You can choose any image. I'm just taking the background launcher image. You can click on OK, and then you can click on infer constraint. Then you can define the width and height also. I'm just giving the width that is 300 dp, and height is again a 300 dp, right? If it is required, then you can pass here 200 is fine, right? Now you can add the text view over here. This is related to your image description. So I'm just setting one here, text size that is 20 sp, and text color that is primary dark, right? This is the text view number 2, this is the image view number 2. Now I want a third text view over here, and that is related to description. So I want to display the description inside the text view number 3. So let me write the code for the food details. But before that, whenever user interact with any image, I want to do the open the food details activity. So here in get view of main activity, simply you can call that your set on click listener. Simply you can call food view dot image view dot set on click listener. Whenever user click on that particular image on food view, I want to open the new activity. So I'm just taking one variable over here. Variable intent is equal to, you can call intent. Here you can pass the context already we have. Then you can just pass your value, that is food details activity class dot java. You can simply start your activity. You can just call context dot start activity, and here you can pass your intent variable. But I want to pass the value, that is description, name and image, into next activity. So here you can simply write intent dot put extra. Here you can just pass the name and your value, that is food dot name, and here you can just pass bank, right? Not only this, I want to pass name, image and description. So here you can just write description, image, and here you can just bind your value, that is description and that is image. Now we need to retrieve all these three values inside our food details activity. So here in food details activity, what I am doing, in food details activity, you can take one variable, that is your bundle is equal to, you can simply call intent dot extras. Using this you can retrieve the different values. So I'm just taking here image view 2, that is available in my food details, right? So this is image view number 2. Into I want to set the image resource. So here simply you can call set image resource. Now you can call the function, that is bundle dot, you can get the integer, and you just need to pass the key, that is image. Not only this, I want to set the text view also. So I'm just writing here text view 2 dot text is equal to, you can call bundle dot get string, and here you can just pass the name of the string, that is the name. I want to set the name over here, and you can set the description if it is required. So I'm just setting it into text view number 3, and here you can just pass the value, that is description. You can run your application again. What happens, see, Whenever you execute your application, now whenever all this food view load the image, whenever user click on that particular image, I am starting the new activity. Now what happens, see, let me click on french fries. See here, french fries is there and a description is available, but I need to move this description below this uh, text, right? So let me move to activity food details. You can simply move this text view that is bottom of this, then you can click on infer, and now you can execute your application again. What happens, see, whenever you click on french fries, your description is come over here. Whenever you click back, you can click on honey. See, description is available over here. You can click on coffee, for example. See, description and image, all this thing is available. So this is the way you can implement your application in your Android Studio. This is the way you can develop the food application. That's it from my side. If you like this video, then please like, share and subscribe to my channel. Thank you all.